Hi everyone, Tridib from TGT and welcome to another video. Let's discuss everything important about the new iOS 15.5 beta. Apple has released iOS iPadOS 15.5 beta 4 for the developers. By the time you are watching this video, public beta may be out as well. You need to have the iOS 15 developer or public beta profile installed on your device to update to this version. The update size was 506.1 megabytes in this iPhone XR, around 400 to 500 megabytes on all the other devices that I have here. I was on iOS 15.5 beta 3 previously. The build number for this update is, as you can see, it's 19F5070B. So we are getting closer to a public release. No new modem firmware update in this version though, at least for this device. So network and connectivity wise, there should be no change from the previous beta. But as I mentioned in my previous beta videos as well, connectivity wise, iOS 15.5 seems to be very stable, at least for me. The airdrop issue is gone, which was there in the first one or two betas. Now let's talk about what's changed in iOS 15.5 beta 4. Again, like the previous beta version, this one doesn't really have any major changes, but mostly changes in the background for stability improvements and changes within codes. There are wording changes across the OS which actually started from beta 1. There are wording changes when the iPhone encounters network and connectivity issues. The texts that appear on the screen during such issue now looks a bit different. There are slight changes to the Apple repair text and device setup text as well. Now, according to the analyst Steve Moser in Twitter, there are changes in the tap to pay icon. The icon now looks a bit different, but that's a really small change. Also, it seems that the Apple Universal Control option is coming out of beta pretty soon after this update. Apple is still working to enable support for the PassKey technology for the supported websites and apps. The references are there within the codes in this beta as well. If you go to the Apple Developer Release Note on the Feedback app, you will see there are quite a few known issues in this update related to the Apple Pay, Health app, Home app, iTunes, Messages, Phone, Settings and more. And there is also a resolved issue related to the Store Kit. But the beta 4 release note almost looks like same as the previous one. Now talking about the bugs and issues, in the previous betas, some iPad Pro 4th Gen users were complaining that after installing beta 3, the Apple Pencil was no longer able to be recognized or pair, mainly when it was connected on a smart keyboard. But it looks like this beta has fixed that issue. Apple Pencil works fine on non-beta iPad Pros as well. The iMessage bug, which some of you were mentioning, I don't know whether it is fixed or not, as Apple mentioned nothing about the issue anywhere. Do tell me in the comment section if that issue is fixed or not. Performance-wise, iOS 15.5 beta 4 is running as usual in this iPhone XR. I have not noticed any changes in performance in this version from the previous release. This iPhone XR performs really nice and smooth after this update. Also, this beta is really smooth in older iPhones as well, such as this iPhone 6s. This is the oldest device to run the latest beta. This device is still very much usable even with a beta software. The app performance is also fine. Battery life should be same as iOS 15.5 beta 3. It was good enough on the previous beta. But it will take a few days to report the actual battery performance of the present beta, that is the beta 4. But as I mentioned earlier, iOS 15.5 battery life seems to be already better than the iOS 15.4.1. Apple also released iPadOS 15.5 beta 4, which I have in this iPad 6th generation. All the changes and features I mentioned are applicable in this version as well. This version is okay so far in this old iPad. The Apple Pencil bug, which I mentioned before, is not there in this iPad. The first gen Apple Pencil is working fine. Also, the fixed position volume control option is working fine in this beta. Some are saying on Reddit that this control wasn't there on the 5th and 6th gen iPad Air or iPad Mini. Do tell me if iPadOS 15.5 is adding that option for you or not, because this is a very convenient option when you change the orientation of the iPad. Here is the Geekbench 5 score for iOS 15.5 beta 4 for the iPhone XR. The multi-core score is a bit down from the previous release, but that is not by much and should not affect the performance of this device. So if you ask me, should you update? I'll tell you the same thing like the previous version. If you have a secondary device and already running the previous beta, then only you should update and install this version. Otherwise, if you are on a public release and not having any major issues, then there is no need to install this version as there are not much changes in this version yet. I'll suggest you to wait for the public release as iOS 15.5 is very close for a public release. Maybe another beta by next week, and then we should see the release candidate version followed by the public release. I have summed up all the important things about iOS 15.5 beta 4 in the shortest possible way. Hope you have liked it. To like, share and subscribe to TGT. I'll see you in my next one. Peace.